Welcome back in. We are through week 2. What a week it was. I'm Tim, joined by my podcast partner, Lo. Lo, how the heck are you?
Great, man. Great. Still under the
Doing
weather
great.
a little bit. Excuse the voice, but hey,
That's okay. That's okay. We've been having a furious discussion, debate over one Baker Mayfield here that
yeah.
we'll get into later. We're going to give you some QBs that were on fire, some QBs that are swimming and reeking of garbage juice, and of course, we had two Brady moments this week that we'll get into. Before we do all that, though, we've got to share some stuff, Lo. We have some injuries that we need to talk about, and let's just go through this very quickly. J.J. McCarthy up first, did not have a good showing, lost. He went into the game down to starting lineman, lost two more starting offensive linemen during the game, and then that on top of just mistakes, right? He didn't take care of the football very well. We'll talk about that later. But his ankle, it looks like he's got a high ankle sprain. He's out for a week, maybe more. They said it could be as many as 3. Carson Wentz takes over. But what are your thoughts on JJ getting hurt this early? And is this going to cause an issue if Carson Wentz goes in and plays well?
I'm gonna give you two. One thought and one what I'm hearing. I'm hearing is O'Connell might wanted him benched. So this might not be an injury where he needs to sit out. I think it's an injury that this is your future quarterback, so you do sit him out. Maybe he can learn a little bit. If I remember correctly, Carson Wentz was able to show Bryce Young the ropes for a little while Bryce Young sat on the bench, and I think it's good for McCarthy. I think it's good. He had a good game. He had a good moment. I don't think McCarthy should get caught up in the moments, the ups or the downs. So I think it's just a little heat check. I think everything's all right, but Carson Wentz is still, that guy.
Interesting to me that you say that because I've heard those rumors as well, but it would seem odd that a guy that was in his corner so much in week 1 and was propping him up, all of a sudden in week 2, looking at the lack of protection that he was getting. I mean, there was times where he was in the middle of his backdrop and there was a free rusher coming right at him. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? No one's getting away from the kind of stuff he was under the other night. So I wonder why all of a sudden do you want to bench? Do you want to bench because the O-line is terrible and now you don't want to put your future out there anymore? He was gimpy. He did get gimpy in the fourth quarter. He got bent over backwards really bad. I think he is injured, and I think it could be a little bit of that. But, maybe put Carson Wentz out there when the O-line is shaky like it is, because that O-line was Swiss cheese on Sunday night. Looked terrible. Atlanta, on the other hand, they've got something on defense, and they looked ferocious. And so you got to give them credit. Jaden Daniels, we talked about his health on Sunday morning, about his fragile frame, right? And is he going to
Yeah.
last the long term? And here we go. Another injury. He was injured a little bit last year. Now it's a knee. I haven't seen or been able to find how long he's going to be out. Have you been able to gather that information? Do we know how serious this is?
No, I think it's just a week. I think it's another week thing. We'll know more. I mean, he might even play, but it looks like he's out. And I think that the decisions around these injuries, we're seeing the NFL step it up a notch. Fantasy and betting has bled its way into the league. So every little report must be accurate. Hell, this is the reason why Jordan Mason's probably not in San Francisco anymore. When he said he found out on Sunday he was starting, or Saturday, but the league was told on Sunday.
Right.
I hate the mess of it with injuries. Usually it's typically vets, so you're not going to joke around with a McCarthy or a Daniels, but you also can't just be like, hey, rest these next couple days and then practice. There's cameras everywhere. They're on his leg, if he's in a boot, if he's in this, that, or the third. So I think it's safe to say Mariota gets the start this week, but I don't think it's long term. I think it's something they don't want to linger. So you might as well take the break. For a couple of these teams, it just makes sense too. Going back to the Vikings, I would say your Vikings, but your McCarthy's Vikings.
There you go.
They play the Bengals, I believe, this week. So it's a noon game. It's probably not going to be something crazy. Maybe they're thinking Carson Wentz can handle it since there's no Joe Burrow. So it's another injury that we could lead into.
Yeah, that's the other thing that we're going to talk about. Joe Burrow broke his toe. Well, I don't think he broke his toe. It's some sort of turf toe. whatever it is, it
Severe
requires
turf toe is what they're saying. I didn't even know there was
surgery,
grades. Yeah.
right? You see, I'm rocking the Fanatics Joe Burrow stitched jersey today because RIP to Joe and RIP most likely to the Bengals season. Although Browning did have himself a moment, he still threw a bunch of interceptions and a bunch of screw ups during that game. Joe Burrow out probably for the season. And I said it the other day in a little satire type video, but his toe is now the expensive toe in all of Cincinnati and all of the NFL because don't forget they had to sell the naming rights to the stadium just to pay for him to for his salary, and now he's not even on the field. So how devastating is this to Joe Burrow?
Man, it sucks if you've watched the quarterback on Netflix series or you follow his story. Man, you hate to see it, but injuries this early in his career have put a damper on it, man. Like we almost forget about the Super Bowl appearance, because of injuries.
Yeah.
He's always hurt, man, and it sucks. So I don't know how much to credit that towards Cincinnati's terrible offensive line or is this Joe Burrow hanging on the ball too long, staying in the pocket, not realizing that there's 6'5", 6'6", 300-pounders all around you? It didn't look to be like a crazy hit. Same thing with Josh Allen. I thought Josh Allen, when he went down, he just stuffed some towel up his nose and said, I'm going back out there. I guess you can't do that with turf toe.
No.
It's unfortunate. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate.
Hey, you rolled right into the next one. Josh Allen breaks his nose on Sunday in the middle of the game. He comes out for a minute. Mitchell Trubisky comes in. So we've learned Mitchell did earn that number 2 spot. Like we talked about that in the preseason. And now Josh Allen, he comes right back in the game and continues to do Josh Allen things and looked hideous in his post game. Can't imagine what his wife said when he got home. But, yeah, his face went right into the ground, super hard into the turf. You're worried concussion maybe. No, just a broken nose. And, hey, get that towel up my nose. Let's get back in here. So Josh Allen he's a Terminator. He's a machine.
Yeah. Yeah, I expected it to be like a red eye or something that he came out with, and nothing there. It goes into the blue tent, comes out more bionic than before. But, no, Josh Allen, he's a trooper, man. You say it about him all the time. His frame, it's very supportive. Joe Burrow's almost as big, but doesn't seem to move as well sometimes. So it's unfortunate, man. Injury bugs in week 2, but hey, this is football. This is where we're at. Man down, man up.
Well, we could go through the NFL injury report. That would take the entire show, so we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, these games, it's kind of crazy to watch. Every couple of minutes, there's an injury. There's an injury timeout. You kind of get the feeling like, I asked my wife the other day, how much longer is the NFL going to exist as these players get bigger, stronger, and faster, and guys can't. This is why I don't play fantasy, because guys are getting hurt on every single play, man.
So on this topic, it's funny that you talked outside of like really an NFL source or anything like that about injuries in football, because I have a buddy that he comes to me for his fantasy tips and things like that, and he's like, what the hell, man? I don't remember it being like this 15, 20 even years ago. And I'm like, man, the game is faster. We can't. He's calling guys, this guy's a weenie and this guy's weak and he needs to get back in there. Da, da, da. I'm like, look, man, you can't account for speed, and that's where the NFL has gone. There's speed at every levels, and that you can't stop your brain from hitting your skull. I don't care how big of a Guardian helmet you have, and you also can't stop gargantuans falling on your foot. You can't. This is football, man. And sure, were they tougher back then? Probably. Were there less lawsuits back then? Probably. So now the NFL definitely has to take their stance, and that blue tent goes up so quick now, man. That's where they invested their money into. Like that thing pops up so fast.
So fast.
Yeah. We got to trust that they're doing what they're doing to take care of the guys, but you got to think these players are now investments. So they're not sticking them out there every week like they used to. They got to sit them down and hope for the playoff appearance instead of the perfect record. So
next man up.
Part of the NFL. Yeah.
Next man up throughout the league. Just don't like to see really these quarterbacks and offensive linemen going down like they are, because the more O-line go down, the more quarterbacks are going to go down. And we could be, last year I think we had like 40-something quarterbacks or 70 quarterbacks play throughout the year. So
the value of play definitely goes down with injury.
It does. It does. And right now we've got some good quarterback play going on throughout the league. And let's get into a little bit of a recap. We like to recap some of the best games from the weekend. Yeah. I'm going to take us first out here to Dallas. The Cowboys and the Giants. I made a TikTok at halftime that this was a terrible game because it was. There was like 14 penalties in the first half. On one play, there was 4 penalties. There could have been 5 penalties thrown. They said, just a terribly sloppy, ugly game. And then we get into the second half, and everything changed. Fourth quarter was crazy. I think there was 41, excuse me,
41.
points scored in the fourth quarter. And then you get to overtime, and it takes 3 series. The Cowboys somehow got the ball 3 times in overtime to get a Brandon Aubrey field goal. Wow, what a game, though. 40-37. The Cowboys usually aren't pulling those games out. They did this time. Of course, it was the Giants. We own the Giants, so how much can you take from that? I don't know. Russell Wilson was throwing lollipop bombs all over the place. It almost gave a feeling of a semi-pro-ish game just because there was zero defense in that second half. What did you come away? What were your thoughts coming away from that game?
Only way this game could have been bad. I enjoyed it. I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I'm kind of watching with just like, what is going on? It's almost Bad News Bears, Little Giants versus the Cowboys, if you remember that movie. And then it just turned out to be a thriller. Only way it gets better to me is if they end in a tie, because then I can just laugh at both.
Right.
But yeah, man, I'll tell you what, though, a few things I took away from it is Brandon Aubrey is for real. He should have the #1 ticket selling jersey for the Cowboys. He is the man. He didn't even blink. They ran the ball from a 60, what was it, a 67-yarder to make it a 64 or something.
Yeah, they didn't
even care.
No
and that was
attempt
good from probably 70. I don't know if y'all saw that kick. It was probably good from 70. Yeah. What else did I get? Russell Wilson is back. He got magic. I hope that stays. There's still some flaws in there, but that comes with the game. I think he relied on Neighbors at the end and kind of didn't. Neighbors really didn't go for the ball like he wanted. Still a terrible throw. Yeah, I mean, Dak Prescott still owns the Giants. I'll give you that one. And yeah, I think the Giants are becoming watchable football again. So that's kind of what I took from it. I'm okay with watching them.
I would say this. I would caution you to slow down on the Russell Wilson talk because our defense is really that bad. It really is. It's so bad that the Cowboys have signed Jadeveon Clowney to the roster. I didn't even think he was playing football anymore. He hasn't really been good since.
You don't like it?
What's that? I mean, it's. I guess the Cowboys are good at retrending players. I mean, I would have liked this 8 years ago or whatever it was when he came out of South Carolina. I feel like Clowney really made his career off that hit against Michigan in that bowl game. But what did he ever do since then? Like he kind of left us like, why?
He had some sacks. I think you're right. I think it's a situation thing, and Cowboys are good at plugging people into a certain situation. If they put him out there with his hand in the dirt the whole time, waste. If they bring him in, try to give you half. I think he gets you half of what Micah gave you. So if you can get 6 sacks out of him out of this year, I think that's great.
Maybe. I mean, like I said, it screams desperation to me. Our defense is terrible. Our secondary is really, really bad, and Russell Wilson took advantage of it. Good for him. I don't know if that means Russell Wilson is back or not, or our secondary is just that terrible. I'm going to let you go on this one. This was actually a really good game. What's funny about this game, and I want to, before we go to this, let me talk about Aubrey for a second because you brought it up. I happened to I looked up his salary this morning, talking with one of my coworkers, Tom Hudgens. Shout out to Tom. He watches us every single week. Brandon Aubrey's contract is like $2 million for 3 years. Just so we know, the best player on the team is also the lowest paid player on the team, which is pretty ridiculous. Jerry, take care of that man and give him some generational wealth because he's going to break all kinds of records as a kicker for you. Let's get into this. Patriots Dolphins, man. This was a good game. I'll tell you, I was watching 4 games on one TV and 4 games on another TV. So I was trying to keep up with everything. I'm going to tell you what I came away from this game as is Tyreek Hill wants out of Miami. There was one play where, he missed it and Hill just take me out of the game. I'm done. He did this to Tua. And of course, the Patriots come away. I'm going to let you talk about this one, though, because this was a fun game.
Yeah, man. I flipped to Red Zone for the morning game just because I wanted to watch this one. So I had to find a local stream, had to get on the internet. I watched the whole game. Obviously, I try to every week for the Patriots. But first of all, it was in Miami, man. So home field advantage was in effect for the new game. The heat is on us in the Navy Blues. I love that stadium for that reason, just not when it's against us. I think the concept is super cool. Patriots pull out the first win in Miami since 2019, been about 5 years. It's also Mike Vrabel's first win as a New England coach. And the Dolphins dropped to an 0-2 start for the first time in the last 5 years as well. So lots of things happen in this game. If you're breaking it down, though, special teams went off early, man. Dolphins, Malik Washington, he returned 74 yards for a gut-punching lead after being up 12-0. I was so upset. And right after, man, Gibson kept him on the roster for a reason. He takes a 90, I think, 6-yard, maybe 90 yards, kickoff for a touchdown. Vrabel's running on the sideline. I knew we had it at that point, or at least I thought. Couldn't really seal the deal. But, yeah, man, you break down each quarter. The first quarter was us. Drake May throws 2 touchdowns, looking like Drake May we expect him to be. Mac Hollins catch a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, we started off great. It was 12-0, had some kicking issues, so I was glad we had faith in them towards the end of the game. Tua fought back. I saw good Tua for a little while. I played well, threw a couple touchdowns. I don't care how niche they were. The pass to Jaden Waddle was great. And then, yeah, man, just May exploded, in my opinion. People don't see it. But 19 for 23, 230 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and more importantly, like I said from week 1, 0 turnovers. All right, so he rushed himself into scoring in the third quarter. I think we need to let his man use his legs more. But he just took off. It was not the play. Judon's chasing you, you freaking run. His orange sleeves are everywhere, you run. But yeah, man, Ramondre was a big deal with all the talk around Trevion Henderson. Ramondre caught a pass, ran for 54, caught 88, game-leading rusher and top pass catcher, which is not what we want. But, clutch finish for the Patriots when the defense came out, 4th down. Milton Williams, a dog. Lead the league. I think we lead the league in sacks after, I don't know about last night's game, but we were after the Sunday's game. So big things are coming out of New England, man. It's a big win for us. I don't think people know how crucial it is to win in Miami. We usually split in that division, so for us to get off, not go 0-2 is great. We're not the ones under pressure in the division. Jets lose Justin Fields. We got the Bills on our mind. I know it sounds crazy, but that's who we have to worry about. So, yeah, man, it was a great game. I watched it all. Patriots win 33-27. More points than I once scored, but it's the Dolphins. They do have a high-powered offense if they can get it going. How do you feel? I got to pose a question, man. Is it McDaniels? Is it him? Because his post press conference interviews and everything is just, he looks like he's either, I hate to say it, man, is this man on drugs? Like, what is going on?
He looks burnt out. He was once called the mad scientist, right? Offense guru and all this kind of thing. And these things tend to blow up quickly and then go away, just as fast. And so, there's a tenure for everybody, and not everybody can stay around on one team as long as Bill Belichick did or an Andy Reid does. I think maybe his time in Miami is starting to run out, and he just looks wore out to me. He looks exhausted.
Could that be Tyreek? Could that be Tyreek?
It could be. Tyreek would be an exhausting person to be around, I would imagine. We've been around receivers like Tyreek, and that we're not as fast as Tyreek. But yeah.
Or good. Or the NFL.
I tell you what, losing in the NFL will aid you as well. It's hard when you continue to lose and you have these expectations. I don't know why Miami has crazy expectations, but they do. And you're in a division with Josh Allen, and you were in a division with Tom Brady for a long time. I mean, the Dolphins just have been going through it since the early 80s.
It's the Josh Allen, bro. When Tom left, everyone was like, yes. In the division,
and then they're like,
possibly
no.
And then there's this. Yeah, I finally get to feel what they've been feeling. Damn, I got to play Josh for the next 10 years at minimum. Yeah. So I get it. Unfortunately, Josh is still in Buffalo and built them a whole brand new stadium here pretty soon. So
yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Sorry, Dolphins. Sorry.
Sorry.
You're down there again.
Obscurity forever. And you know what? You brought it up. I forgot to mention it. Justin Fields is injured. Not sure what his status is going forward.
He's in the concussion protocol, so he'll have to
concussion. So he's probably out maybe a week, typically, maybe 2. How bad it was, we don't know. But Justin Fields, another casualty, a quarterback casualty. I've been waiting to talk about this game because that
might need to be the segment, Tim. QB casualties.
QB casualties.
Call it that, man, we got at least 4 of them. So
the list is mounting. I've been waiting to talk about this game because Sunday morning on our pregame show, folks, if you don't know, we have a
Yes,
pregame
I know
show
where you're
every
going.
Sunday, and it starts at we go on from 10:30 to 11:30 Central Time, right here on YouTube. But Colts versus Broncos, you were
Yeah.
sure the Colts were going to win, or the Broncos were going to win. You were sure that Daniel Jones was not who we think he is now. You were sure that Bo Nix was the guy to go in there and get it done, and you were almost right. You looked right for a long
Ah.
time, but the Colts come out with a last second field goal. I don't call it a Brady moment for Daniel because he didn't really do much. They just kind of had to get in position. But here's the interesting thing about Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are the only team in the NFL to not have had to punt yet. The Colts are also the only team left in the NFL without a turnover. So to me, these 2-0 Colts are going to be a problem. Daniel Jones has found his home. He's comfortable. That Denver Broncos team is good, and he found a way. How did you feel? What did you come away with that game, knowing that you were right up until the last second when you were all of a sudden wrong?
Uh, I'm not all right. So let me say what I was still right about. Bo Nix is still solid. Okay, he put over 200 yards. They threw the ball a little more than they wanted to. He had 3 touchdowns still, but he had the interception. What I didn't like was the arguing with Peyton. We did see
I
some
was going to ask you about that.
trouble
What are
in
you, second year? What are
paradise.
you doing?
Well, he got a little bit louder voice now. He coming off last year, and you know how Sean Payton can piss off his QBs. We know that. Drew Brees has had words with him. We know how that can go. It doesn't make me nervous, but what I will say, and this is me somewhat eating my words, the Colts are actually scary good so far, dude. I know you've
Oh,
said it, but at 2-0, it's their best start since 2009. Okay, and more importantly, Jonathan Taylor looks like the Jonathan Taylor we know. Okay. Daniel Jones is looking sharp. He's not doing anything to win the games. He's definitely not doing anything to put them in the situations to lose the games. So if they can clean up their red zone inefficiencies, they might be a dark horse in this AFC, man. I'm talking possibly division winners, like after what we saw from Houston last night, which we'll get into
yeah.
that later. But Bo Nix showed flashes, man. The Broncos defense really ruined them, in my opinion. The game's over if you don't give. I hate to say it. Have I heard of this leverage thing before? Have I heard of that penalty? I'm not sure.
You
But
can't
the
do it.
defense,
You simply can't do it. You can't go over the snapper, period.
but I've seen people touch them or not touch them, and it's okay. Or I don't really care about it. Whatever. Refs are part of the game. You don't let it in on that. The defense choked in the clutch. If you ask me, couldn't hold it in the fourth. They gave up big plays to Daniel Jones and the Colts, and all the penalties. I think the Broncos got to figure it out. PS2 was out. That was another one. Surtain got hurt. He left. This damages the defense a little bit. So yeah. I give the Colts their flowers this week, man. They're good. They are who you said they were, not who I thought they were. But the Broncos are still who we think they are. Okay, that division's still wide open. I think the Chargers actually lead it.
You know what? I was going to say that I think that division could start to close as we get down the road because to me, it's clear cut right now. The Chargers are the best
Chargers.
team in the AFC West. They look like a machine right now on offense and defense. They just look together, and that's the Jim Harbaugh effect. He did it in San Francisco. He did it at Stanford. He did it at Michigan, and he's doing it now. He even did it at San Diego State. He should be doing it for the Bears, but the Bears are dumb. The Bears are
Let
dumb.
that
And they
ship
won't even
sail,
talk to them.
man. Let that ship sail. It's gone. Ain't
That's
no
just going to
Harbaugh
be
for
in
you.
the back of my mind. I'm going to take us to another game, and you're going to be surprised. Everyone's going to be surprised I'm going to take us to this game.
Where
But
are we headed?
Make-A-Wish almost had his wish come true this week. Bryce Young, man, he really made me eat my words. He
Temporarily.
crawled out of the garbage juice. He did a lot of things. Now, did he screw up the final drive? 100%. He certainly did. He hasn't been in that position a whole lot, so we
Yeah.
give him some grace. But that Panthers-Cardinals game, crazy fourth quarter, actually. Bryce Young almost made us believe, but again, 55 pass attempts. And this is another thing that we're seeing in the league. These young quarterbacks are throwing the ball too much. 50 attempts. Dak had 52 attempts. I mean, what are we doing in the run game? I get that, maybe 15 of these are, high percentage screen throws. RPO throws, things of that nature. But golly, let's get some running backs involved. I'm just
I
saying that
tuned
might
I
help.
tuned in there, and yeah, the stat line tells a way different story than the game, man. I did tune in with you. Chuba Hubbard, man, 10 carries is ridiculous. You signed this man last year because he was averaging the touches of 20 a game. Those got
Yeah.
to get back. 10, great rookie receiver. Hope he doesn't waste his career there. 6 catches for 100, showed some glimpses. But you're down 20-3 coming out of halftime. You're gonna be throwing the ball a lot. So I understood that part. More importantly, Kyler's doing what he's doing right now to win games. I think we could see more out of him later. But I actually liked Kyler's play. I watched, I think, some of the third when they came out. And he's not really erratic back there like he was. And when he does extend plays, they're forward, not always left and right. So there's some growth from Kyler. But yeah, we text back and forth after a while on the Bryce Young, and we're like, oh, maybe, oh, no, oh, maybe. So Bryce Young is still he's still in the make-a-wish for me. He's out of the garbage juice, but he definitely
Oh,
is
he's
still in
certainly out of the garbage juice. Way to go. Way to go, Bryce Young.
Good
Congratulations.
job. Yeah.
It's one of the few weeks in his career he's been out of there. Hey, one last game. I just want to touch on last night's Charger game.
Yeah.
I thought the Chargers looked incredible, but I thought Justin Herbert, he is in his bag right now. He's running, he's throwing, he's doing everything right. He looks incredible. He made some throws last night that were wow throws, right? I mean, just woo.
The Keenan Allen, the third
Yeah,
and Keenan Allen was a dart, and it was calculated. You moved the linebacker, you held the safety, and you fitted in only a window that like you're throwing at training camp, if that. So yeah, man, he's utilizing all his weapons. Herbert looked great, in my opinion. We said it. We both said it. It's his breakout year. It has to happen this year. I wouldn't say he's in his bag. I'm going to do you one better. He got a new bag of tricks this year.
Oh, he sure did. He looks great. Now, be fair. He's always had these tools and these abilities. He's just been waiting for the right coach to come in, I think, and put his arms around him and go, come on, let me help you get the best out of you. And that's what Jim Harbaugh is great at. He'll get the best out of you, especially at the quarterback position. And that defense actually looks like they can help. I mean, and they are helping. They're doing a great job. One last thing. Now, they're not quarterbacks, but this was a big contention. We talked about this in preseason. Omario Hampton for the Chargers, and then you had Genty. So you had the two running backs that were really the two most talked about. I said Genty was the lesser of the two, in my opinion. And last night was similar number of carries. Actually, Hampton had less carries, more yards, had a better stat line, and looked better to me, although Genty had a couple of nice plays. Hampton just looks like the more complete back to me. What did you think about the two of them? I'm just curious.
I think they're going to be RB1, RB2. I think that's why Dobbins wasn't there. He wants to be RB1. I think they're both 1A, 1B. This is what kind of the league's going to in some areas to preserve them. I think they complement each other well. But surprisingly, Najee looked better, in my opinion, out the backfield, catching passes, and that's not how I expected that to go. But Najee did play late in the game, so I'm curious to see how it pans out between them two. I still don't know who the clear-cut RB1 is over there.
Well, of course, we're talking about Genty, who plays for the Raiders. Wow.
Oh, sorry, Hampton and Genty. I'm talking about that's what. Okay, well, let me double
I'm talking
back.
about
Sorry,
the comparison
everybody.
of the
Sorry,
two
everybody.
top drafted running backs.
Yes, I think Genty is better. I was going to get into Genty afterwards. I'm still stuck on the Hampton and Najee. There's internal going on over there, and Hampton doesn't get as many carries because of Najee, which is why I have Genty there. Genty looks explosive, but he's getting more of the workload. So it's a little harder because look at the situations. If you put Genty in that Charger offense, oh man, can you imagine?
Well, I don't know, because Genty had 10 more carries and about 15 or so less yards than Hampton last night.
On a Raiders offense. I
don't know. I like Hampton better. He's bigger. I feel like he can run around you. He can run through you. He gives me Adrian Peterson vibes. And Genty did. I mean, Genty ran over a guy last night. I'll give him that. I just feel like Genty didn't play the same caliber of competition. To me, I mean, Boise State. I mean, I don't know who you're playing at Boise State, but it's not NFL caliber teams. I don't know. We'll see. It's Genty's good. I think Hampton was the better pick, in my opinion.
Time will tell. I don't think Hampton would have had any type of success in the Raiders offense. That's the difference. I think it was situational, which is why they took Hampton. And I think the Raiders they got. I don't know, Janty. I'm still on the side of Janty. I think
Well,
Janty.
let's
I
talk
was,
about let's talk about that Raiders offense because if anyone saw
uh,
last night, Tom Brady was in the booth with a headset on in the coach's booth, not in the broadcast booth, not in the media. This dude, as a very very small part owner of the Raiders, was in the coach's booth with a full-on suit and a headset. And as the interceptions mounted, I started to think, when's he going to take the elevator downstairs and be on the sidelines like Jerry Jones? Like, what is going on with Tom Brady and the headset in the coach's booth? I'm here for it. Is that going to evolve into something? What is happening?
don't even get me excited. I just take Tom in part of any organization. So just the fact that he's owning the Raiders was like a whole bunch of stuff. But let's see. Could Shador, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, if Tom has to say in there, Shador, pack your bags. You're coming to Vegas soon, and then Geno Smith, you can count your days. You're a bridge quarterback. We know that. But Pete Carroll, Shador Sanders, Tom Brady, I like the sound of that. That's just me,
You
Brock
like the sound of
Bowers.
that, huh?
I do. I just hate it because I'm a Patriots fan. But I like it for football. That's for sure.
Well, still, let's not get inebriated with your guy Shador Sanders. I still think there's some things there that we're not aware of to some degree, but that's okay. He's
It's
dying
Tom
there
Brady's
in
guy.
Cleveland.
That's Tom Brady's guy.
Well, then why didn't they draft him?
He doesn't have a say in who gets drafted.
Okay, all right, but he's gonna have
He
a say.
just got a headset on in the
gonna
booth, and
trade.
all of a
Okay.
sudden, we don't know what was going on up there.
Well, I don't know what was going on up there.
Yeah,
That was a little
let's not-
crazy. Let's graduate. We got to move along. We got to move this thing through. We're gonna go to one of our favorite segments. It's QB's on fire. Now, notice we don't have any graphics today. We don't have a banner today. Unfortunately, our producer, New Era Media, is out on assignment today. So we're just kind of bare right now. But here we are. Jared Goff there. You go. Fire is my first on fire quarterback. 5 touchdown passes, 23 for 28, 334, no turnovers. Beat the bear out of the Bears. What? Wow, Jared Goff, he's incredible. Had a rough game, but he really stuck it to Ben Johnson and the Bears. Talk about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, we knew it was coming. I don't know how you felt, but we knew it was coming. Ticking time bomb. You don't lose to the Packers like that and expect them to just be like, oh, okay. Then you're at home. You called it. Amon-Ra went off. Jared Goff looked comfortable. Jared Goff looked like the Jared Goff that we expected to see. So that says something to that Packer defense.
Yeah, that Packer defense is for real. The whole Packer team is for real. I think we both came away feeling like that this week so far. So Jared Goff, congratulations. Another on-fire performance from you. Next up, your guy. You think he's back. Russell Wilson, 30 for 41, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 untimely interception, maybe the worst throw that he'll have all season. It was an absolute just throw up. And I hope, I think Neighbors is down there somewhere type of thing. But Russell Wilson was simply in fuego here in Dallas and gave us some scare. How did you feel about Russell's performance Sunday?
I enjoyed watching it. I couldn't figure out if it's because I liked Russell or if I just disliked the Cowboys that much. But I enjoyed the game as a whole. And we both said it, man. The quarterbacks were going to be a shootout. It was exactly what we thought it was going to be. We said Russell would play well and probably end up losing. So, I think he's back. I didn't hear anything, actually, ear to the ground last few days around Jackson Dart. And he did get in there. He was in there a couple times. Pointless packages. There was no rhyme or reason to why he was in there.
No, he handed the ball off. It was silly. But again, we talked about that on the pregame. And in fantasy, by the way, we said Jared Goff would have a big day, that you should play him that day. And we let you all know that I just totally lost my train of thought of what we let everybody know.
Jackson Dart would get in some packages.
Yeah, we let everybody know that Jackson Dart was going to play some in a few packages, and he did. We know, we tell you, so you know. And you can
could be setting up something later. It could be setting up something later, but I just don't see the continuity of the Giants offense like that.
They're going to ask, well, Tim, the Cowboys won. Surely Dak Prescott is on fire. 38 for 52, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. No, sir, Dak Prescott was not on fire. that day, especially with the INT, 52 pass attempts. That's not good. And to win the game, you just handed the ball off a couple times and let Aubrey come in and kick a 65, 64-yard field goal. So not on fire, but very good game by Dak. Very good game. He came out hot. He cooled off for about 2 quarters and then came back in the fourth and did some good things, used his legs. But no.
Use his legs. Use his legs. It was good to see Dak use his legs. Yeah, it was good to see him move around. I think he doesn't want to. You can tell by the way he gets tackled. His legs just kind of he's not used to it anymore. So, but yeah, I thought both quarterbacks played well. The fact that the Giants, in my opinion, all you Dallas fans out there, y'all can be mad at me. This should be treated as a loss, if you ask me, for Dallas, because it's the Giants and all the shit that the Cowboys fans have been talking about. The Giants, this, Giants, that. You just went to overtime with them.
I don't care. It's hard to win in the NFL. A win is a win. So
Fair
Dak
enough.
Russell on fire, Dak not on fire, but who else was on fire? You called this in preseason when he signed with the 49ers. He has to get used right away. We said Sunday morning that Kyle Shanahan has some sort of magic when he brings in a backup quarterback. Seems to always have success. Mac Jones, 26 of 39, 279, 3 touchdowns, and a big win there in New Orleans. Were you expecting that, or were you pleasantly surprised? I mean, you called it, so I assume you expected to see that.
I expected it, man. I told people when he left, this was not – it's the situation for him, man. He's about as system as a quarterback as you can get. He can take reins and run with it. He showed a lot of that last year in Jacksonville when he made Brian Thomas Jr. one of the top receivers. That was not Trevor Lawrence, okay? That was Mac Jones. And it was in a fluid system that they're doing. You said it when San Francisco's OC got the controller and you give him a quarterback that first week, he's going to do well. I think it's continued success. If you ask me, Purdy's out for 2 to 5. Mac Jones is now comfortable. He knows what it takes to be a starter. He was one. He also knows what it's like to lose, right? So being in the San Francisco program where they don't like losing too much, I think it's just a perfect fit for him. It's great. I called it early in the season. I picked him up as stashes in a couple of my fantasy leagues. He delivers the ball. He's not going to run, might turn the ball over here and there because he's a young guy, but he says all the right things. I don't know. I'm happy for Mac Jones. There's a 49er fan in my house, and there might be a jersey that needs to get purchased or something because Mac Jones is still that guy, man.
Oh, my goodness. A jersey. Okay, well, Mac Jones on fire in his first start for the 49ers. Congratulations to Mac Jones. We've got one more because there was, again, great quarterback play throughout the league.
Yes.
And we've left some guys out like a Josh Allen who, he just kind of had an average day for him, which would be a great day for some other guys. But this guy was not average. Lamar Jackson was an absolute terror this weekend, 19 for 23, 225, 4 touchdowns for Lamar Jackson. I think they
pause right there real quick, Tim, just so they hear that again. The same amount of incompletions as he had touchdowns. Just want to make that clear.
4.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson was the definition of on fire this weekend.
Yeah,
on fire. Lamar Jackson, he was fantastic. I think a little bit of anger from the week before. You take that out on the next week's opponent. What are your thoughts on Lamar after a performance like that?
You knew he was going to come up in there, man. You knew he was going to do his thing. He got to see his old buddy Flacco. Lamar Jackson is who we thought he is. He's possible. I think I saw a crazy in one of our group chats. Maybe he literally is the leading rusher and passer, I believe, touchdowns or something. Passer rating. It was crazy stat. And the guys he's ahead of is unreal. He's just an all-around football player, man. That right now he's got to be in the running for MVP every year at the start. He's almost to that like LeBron James factor where, well, you can always give it to Lamar if you want. You can always just give it to Lamar. So.
The thing about Lamar, people love Lamar so much, and he's put up some crazy numbers that if and when he gets to a Super Bowl and wins it, they may just put him in the Hall of Fame on the podium at the Super Bowl. Like, no, wait, you're still playing. We don't care. Here's your jacket, and let's go about our business.
Here's your jacket.
Here's the jacket. So that's
he might
fun.
not put it on either. He seems the guy just to kind of All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Thanks.
throw
Appreciate
it on
it.
his
Yeah.
shoulder.
Just kind of
Appreciate
put
it.
it over his shoulder.
Yep, yep. Get home, throw it on the chair, right?
Hey, big game though. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but next week, you know who the Ravens face?
I do not know. I have not looked.
Monday Night Football, Detroit Lions.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. Now, Lamar does not
Oh
lose
yeah.
against NFC teams. He just doesn't. So I'm not looking for the Lions to win that game at
Okay.
all. Even though their defense is healthy and all that, Lamar doesn't seem to lose against NFC teams.
That means those quarterbacks going at it next week, y'all. 9 total touchdowns were through in week 2 between them two.
Wow. We should see a quarterback masterclass, but there's also going to be two really good defenses on the field. So I
Yeah.
guess we'll see
Yeah.
how that goes. So as much as we have good quarterback play, we got some really bad.
Yeah. Here we
Let's get
go.
into the
Here
garbage.
we go.
We've got some
Yeah,
new
there's
folks in
plenty.
there this week. First and
Bacon
foremost,
fees.
hate to say this, the old man. I have nothing but respect for Joe Flacco, but 25 for 45, 199, one touchdown, one interception, and you got benched for Gabriel late in the fourth quarter. Not Sanders, Gabriel. I'm just saying, Joe Flacco, you're making it really hard in Cleveland for you to continue to be the number one guy because that's 2 bad weeks in a row. Garbage juice, Joe Flacco.
Oh, tough. Yeah, won't comment too much on it. I think his spot is still safe. The benching was because the way the game was going, not
Sure.
necessarily his play. At that point, old man doesn't need that much volume. Can you imagine? He would have been in the 55 or 60 pass range.
Yeah,
So,
way
yeah,
too much.
yeah. Let's move on to the next one, man. Your man,
The next
Caleb
one.
Williams.
You're not my guy. He just happens to play in my city. All right. Listen, I tried to support him last year and say he was getting better. 19 for 30, 207. He did have the 2 touchdowns. One was like in garbage time. One was the first series, which we've already talked about. He's great on the first series of the game. Tell him exactly where to go with the football. He does exactly that. After that, it's wheels off. He looks like he has no idea what he's doing. He had an interception. He also got benched again, probably because of the way the game was going. But
Sure.
the noise in Chicago is loud for Tyson Badgett to take over as a starting quarterback. That's obviously ridiculous. That's not going to happen. But there's no reason to think that he's not better than Caleb Williams right now. Caleb Williams, absolutely terrible. I'm so disgusted and disappointed. Go ahead. Go ahead. Garbage.
Yeah, he's. I'm not even gonna go into it too much because it's not. He's gonna stick around, so you better get used to the smell of that garbage juice because I don't think Badgett's any better. So let's move on to your real guy.
Why is it got to be my real guy? This
He's your
just
guy.
proves. Listen, what we're about to say just proves that I'm a fair individual. That I do not play favorites, even though I have some favorites. Right?
Yeah, the one right after this is gonna be just as the opposite of what you're saying right now, Tim. Come
That's
on,
true.
man.
That might be true. That might be true. But listen, J.J. McCarthy, my man. I usually don't put rookies in here, but J.J. McCarthy. Now, he was down in O-line coming into the game. He lost 2 more during the game. Aaron Jones went out at one point in the fourth quarter, and there was absolutely zero for J.J. McCarthy to let the ball go. That being said, he never got himself under control. He looked frantic most of the night. I don't like to put rookies in here, but you got to feel it, JJ. I got to give you some garbage juice. You're out there 11 for 21, 158, 2 interceptions. If you hadn't thrown the interceptions, protected the ball, you wouldn't be here. But you didn't protect the football. This hurts my feelings. I feel dirty for saying this even. JJ McCarthy, man, you got to go spend some time in the garbage juice and work your way out.
Yeah, man, you pulled out the trash bag today and a little bit on your hand, and you're like, "Is that a JJ? Is that some JJ on me?" Man, in my opinion, it's Penix. Penix not playing as bad made him look that much worse, and Penix didn't play well. That was the issue. So
I was going
you're
to say
looking at,
Penix wasn't much better. He was 13 for 21. The only thing that he didn't do was throw interceptions.
and that's what you ask if you're rookie, right? Try not to turn it over.
Protect the football.
What got me was that crazy stat I sent to you mid-game as well, or during the other games. If J.J. McCarthy would have spiked the ball every play he's dropped back, he would have had a better pass rate than what he had. That's crazy that these new stats are coming out because it's wild. Justin Fields, I'm going to lead into him later. So before you go into your guy, let me go ahead and drop mine off of McCarthy since I just brought him up. Justin Fields, you don't get the hook, man. I don't care if you're in the cut. Maybe they're going to knock some sense into you. Maybe that's what happened. I'm talking a little bit good about you, and then you go into week 2 and you do exactly what I told you not to do. You're 3 for 11. You were trying to throw the ball, I guess. You had 27 yards, and then you had your fumble. And mind you, that fumble came from you trying to do too much. Stop. Just play quarterback. Live to fight another series. Stop trying to do all the unnecessary stuff. It was one of the worst passing days for any starter, okay? Very low volume. And I don't know, maybe he was like, oh, you got to get me out of here. I hit my head. Who knows? Never want to wish injury upon people. It's validated. See, they had to even validate it and say he is in concussion protocol. So they had to validate to make sure that it wasn't just him, whining or whatever the case may be. But the Jets offense, man, like Buffalo made y'all look non-existent. Terrible for fantasy owners out there because a lot of people rely on him to run the ball and do all these things. So no bueno coming out of Justin Fields. You deserve to be in there again. In my opinion, he's been there before. Not sure if he can climb his way out of this one because you got the Jets cloud hanging over you, which makes it that much hard when that cloud's raining garbage juice as well. Just put it all away. Justin Fields leading them into the wrong. Put it all away.
Wow, that's a lot. I don't know how to feel about all that because he played for the Bears at one time. That was a lot. I feel like you've got a lot of feelings towards Justin, and hopefully you got them all off your chest. Wow. One thing I learned about that game, watching that game and then watching the Steelers play the Seahawks, was that neither the Seahawks or the Steelers the Steelers or the Jets are as good as we wanted them to be. Particularly the Steelers aren't nearly as good as we thought they were. The Jets are just terrible. And so there you go. Wow. That's what I learned going into that. I'm going to give you one more, and then we're going to get into the big one. And we'll glaze over this because we kind of talked about it. But Geno Smith, we both like Geno Smith, right?
Yes.
We like you. But Geno, you got Tom Brady upstairs, and you're going 24 for 43, 183, 3 interceptions. Well, you got to dive head first into the garbage juice, and it's going to take you a minute to work your way out of there. He's all the way in there for me. Did you feel the same way, or am I going to get something different out of you?
No, the exact same way, and maybe even double down, especially because last week against my Patriots, who I consider a decent defense, high risk, low reward, deep ball failures, and the turnovers just sounds like a recipe for collapse, especially under the competitive nature of your primetime game. You need to go out there and not turn the ball over. Dude, he hit 0 of 12 attempts over 10 yards were completed.
That's terrible. Can't do that.
0. That means they didn't give up a single pass over 10 yards. Insane. So, insane. Yeah, Geno belongs in there this week. And even worse, he's in the Las Vegas garbage juice. So, there's all types of stuff that comes out of there. So who knows? You better get out of there quick, man. Tom has a little bit of say, and that little bit of say can go a long way. So.
He is Tom Brady. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, drum roll, everyone.
I know they won the game. I know they beat the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have decided to take the year off, so I'm not putting a lot of stock into that win. Jalen Hurts. Listen, you guys want to put this man in the top 5. You want to talk about him because he got the Super Bowl MVP. I'm not even sure how that happened. 15 for 22, 101 yards. Sacked twice. No touchdowns. No interceptions. Okay. Every time he drops back to pass, I don't see anything good happening. But we haven't seen a quarterback win games and throw that least amount of passes since Troy Aikman. But when Troy Aikman was throwing the ball 22, 25 times, he was throwing for 250, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. He was doing something with the football. I don't know how you can watch the Eagles play and go, Jalen Hurts, he's the reason. No, the Eagles are an amazing football team. They're put together at every level. They are a running football team. They don't trust Jalen. They don't trust him to drop back because if they did, he wouldn't only throw the ball 22 times. You got guys throwing the ball 55 times a game. Meanwhile, Jalen's out here 22, 100 yards. That's just not NFL quarterback play. I don't care if the Eagles are winning. The Eagles are winning. It's not because of Jalen. And I'm tired
It's
of
not
that
needed.
narrative. We got to get past that and realize what we're watching, because if Jalen played on any other team where he had to do something, if he was in that situation last night in Tampa, he's not getting it done. He's not. He's not that guy.
Well, you're talking about two
All I
totally
got to
different
say.
situations, man. Jalen Hurts is a winner. He's 15 for 22. That's 1 pass shy of what Lamar threw, right? Sure, the yards aren't there. He doesn't have to. He's got different weapons. The offense is built differently. You need to get off the Jalen Hurts train, man. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback in the NFL. He's got to be a top 10. He just beat the Chiefs.
It's
What else do you want him to
impossible
do?
for him to be
He
top 10.
beat your cow.
You got to put up some
How?
numbers.
You're going off statistics, man. It's easy to be the best player on your team when you are
Do
the best player on
something.
your team.
You talked
He
about
doesn't
Mac
have to.
Jones. You said Mac Jones
Mac
was the
Jones is
ultimate
in-
system
so
quarterback.
Mac
Bullshit.
Jones is in a-
Jalen Hurts is the ultimate system quarterback.
Mac Jones is in a situation where you need a system quarterback, someone who delivers the ball on time to short little routes, and the
Jalen Hurts
weapons do
couldn't
the
play.
rest.
Jalen couldn't play in San Francisco. He couldn't do
That's
it.
not his system. That's not his system.
Exactly. He's a running back. He's not a quarterback. I'm sorry. He's not.
He's playing. What are we going to talk about when, let's see, who does he have next week? I'm curious now. You've sparked my interest. The Eagles play the Rams next week, where you can't just run the ball against them, okay? He is going to be forced to throw the ball next week. He will have over 200 yards. He will throw the ball maybe almost 30 times, and I don't think he turns the ball over. Possibly has 2 touchdowns too. So there's
They will lose to
a
the Rams. They will lose to the Rams.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm a Chiefs guy, man, and I watched that game yesterday, and it was hard to watch because Jalen Hurts is doing what he wants and looking. He's the kid at the playground that when you're playing him one-on-one in basketball, he's 300 pounds and just backs you up all the way and just lays it in. He's that kid. He wins. He wins. He's a winner.
Understand this. You watch the game. If Travis Kelce doesn't drop that ball at the 1 yard line, the Chiefs win the game, number one. Number two, if it's not for the tush push, which by the way, now it's clear as day, they're false starting on every single time they run that play. If it's not for that play, they still don't win the game. You can't tell me that Jalen Hurts was out there looking incredible. No.
He didn't have to. Jalen Hurts is a
runs the
product
ball.
of his
He's a
environment.
running wildcat the whole game, essentially.
He is a product of his environment. So when the run is not there, we will see Jalen pass. He's done it before.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
but or will we? Because they dominate on the ground. Why would you? Football is 3 phases of the game: offense,
Okay.
defense,
All right.
special teams.
Can we just understand that Jalen Hurts is just another guy on that Eagles offense?
Oh, you
he
just
is.
called him
He's
a
a tool.
jag. You
He's a
just
tool.
called Jalen Hurts a jag. Just another guy. Stop it.
That's all he is, bro. He's not doing anything special at his position. He's not doing anything
Tune
special.
in, everybody, to next week's Jalen Hurts Jag segment by Tim Smith.
Love
Oh, man.
it. Let's go. All right.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's do the good stuff.
We had 2 Brady moments this week. Usually we
did.
only have 1. You know what? We're going to split this one up today because I've got a guy and you've got a guy. You got a guy that you really want to talk about. I've got a guy that I really want to talk about. You can chime in if you like. I'm going to leave you on this one, though, because Jake Browning showed what he was made of on the final drive after really battling all day, throwing 3 interceptions, 92 yards, 342 left in the game. Talk about it.
Yeah, man, Jake Browning. He's a backup, first of all. Let's write this stage. This is a backup quarterback. He is not a starter. Do you remember who was a backup? You remember who was a backup a long, long time ago? Tom Brady.
Who's that?
That's why this is a moment.
You
He
just
came
complete-
in last minute.
I get it.
Hey, Jake Browning was a backup, and he played the whole game. Burrow went out, second drive, third drive, maybe?
Pretty
I don't
early.
remember.
Pretty early.
But he led a 92-yard drive with only 3 minutes left in the game. You would think, you want a little bit more. But come on, he was down 3. He goes 9 for 12, 65 yards, and ran, which is always good to see, right? The little, QB sneak for a go-ahead touchdown. He completed 2 fourth-down passes, and after the second fourth down, oh, man, he went on to go on 5 passes in a row. That's a streak. That is, I am moving this ball. And keep in mind, Jake was 21 for 32. He did have 3 INTs. But we're talking about a moment. He wasn't on fire. He just had a Brady moment.
That's all that matters.
So, yeah, that's all that mattered. Yeah. Bengals, you're going to be all right. Bengals, you're going to be okay.
I don't think the Bengals will be okay.
Nah.
But I do appreciate the Brady moment. I appreciate the fighting back. Right, you throw three interceptions. You're having a rough outing. Your leader's
Next
down.
drive.
The
Yep.
team is down, and he just stays with it. So hats off. Can't say anything negative. I mean, it was a terrific way to end the game, and you got your team in the end zone to win it. And congratulations to Jake Browning for a Brady
There
moment.
was another guy though, huh? There was another
There was
moment out
another
there.
guy. There was another guy.
Another
Now,
moment. Yeah.
last night, I think we talked about this, but I'm getting text messages. Is Baker Mayfield better than Dak Prescott? I thought it was a trick question. I thought maybe it was a joke. I didn't know. Maybe somebody trying to play a prank because 100% he is better than Dak Prescott. To me, it's light years difference. Baker can do everything Dak can do better than Dak can do it. And, coming out of college, he's known as the most accurate quarterback. When he was coming out, they dubbed him as the most accurate quarterback they've ever seen coming out of college. Dak was not that. Okay, he was a first overall pick after being a 2-time walk-on to 2 different Power 5 schools. Dak did not have to do that. The only reason Dak is still here in Dallas and the highest paid player ever is because he's got something on Jerry Jones, right? I don't know what it is. He's got something on Jerry Jones. Here's the deal, though. Baker Mayfield, down 5, 2:04 remaining. Nothing had been going on in the second half good for Baker Mayfield. And he had just knocked the ball out of his own hand, if you remember, the drive before, fumbling, they get it back, they have to punt. It looks all bad, right? Nick Chubb scores a touchdown. It looks all bad. This offense hasn't done anything. Well, guess who stayed awake? Because he knew that this was going to happen. I also wanted to watch the first half of the next game. But I knew what Baker Mayfield was going to do because he did it last week. This is his 12th comeback, by the way. His 12th fourth quarter comeback. Down 5, 2:04, 11 plays, 80 yards, 7 for 9, 63 yards, and a big 4th-yard scramble on 4th and, I think it was 4th and 9, 4th and 10.
4th and 10. 4th and 10.
Where this man got out of the pocket. He had a hurt knee already. He's running. He gets hit. He flips over. And what does he do? He gets up and he starts talking smack to the DB. Baker Mayfield. He's got something inside of him that most people can't even fathom. Baker Mayfield is a dog. And he's proved again last night, his second Brady moment in as many weeks. I wish Tampa could do something so they have to stop calling on these heroics. But Baker Mayfield, he's not just another guy. He's the guy. Did you watch it? Did you see it? What do you think?
I watched it. Man, I watched it. And more impressive, in my opinion, was after the run. He goes 7 for 9 on that final drive, 63 yards. No Godwin, no problem. They were bracketing. I don't know if you watched. They were bracketing Mike Evans. Did a good job all night. Yeah, man. I mean, a 2-yard touchdown. He used his running backs, checked down when he needed to, left no time on the clock. Like,
zero.
Did exactly what you were supposed to do. So the time management, the poise under pressure, and to me, the Brady moment started. I wish I had the image. Oh, man, it sucks you don't have the new era this week. Shout out to Brandon. I know you're handling business. But the meditation on the sideline by Baker Mayfield was great. You knew it was coming. He's just that guy, man. He's got an aura around him. So he's not a Jag. He's just the guy. But this is where we differed. Let's not overhype Baker. When Baker gets overhyped, bad things happen. He was overhyped, in my opinion, coming out of college, going into a bad situation. That's why he was overhyped, right? Right now he's in a good situation. Let's not crowd the boat so it starts to sink out in Tampa. Okay? Let's continue to let Baker cook, Chef Baker cook, and do what he needs to do. Let's not get too high. Let's put him on our show, Brady Moments. But once the rest of the world catches on, I have a feeling Baker loves those moments. And it's not that he doesn't rise to those moments. It's that he's too much built for those moments. He'll start dancing. He'll start talking to the defense like he was doing. You got to have someone to reel Baker back in. So hopefully he doesn't go down that tail. But I'll give you one more nugget. He's in the same tier as Dak. Let's not overhype it. Okay? They're both tier 2 quarterbacks right now that scratch and sniff the top 10 on any given week. But Baker Mayfield is in the top 10 currently. Let's hope he can keep going. We're also talking about him playing. Who is he playing again?
The Texans on the road.
He's played Atlanta. Texans are on the down. I've said that. I've been saying it. And Atlanta's young. Let's wait till he sees a bigger team, right?
Both of
Next
these
week,
Brady
have some
moments
good-
were on the road, though. Both of these Brady
They
moments
were.
were on the
They
road.
were.
One was divisional. One was against a
Hey,
team that has won their division 2 years in a row. I mean, I think you're downplaying Baker a little
hey,
bit.
I just
I mean,
know I'm
let's
not
not forget.
downplaying him. I just
Since,
don't want to jump too far and get to where he's overhyped.
yeah,
That's it. I
I don't
don't
think
want
you
to.
can overhype this guy. I don't. He is not a
Okay.
tier 2 quarterback in any fashion to me. He is absolutely a
Ooh,
tier 1. He's a top 5 guy right now the way he's playing. And since he's been in Tampa, he leads the league in touchdown passes. So I just situation matters. I've always said that.
yeah.
Cleveland's a bad situation for any quarterback. Uh, when he went to Carolina for a minute, he was a Band-Aid. He was always going to be a Band-Aid there. He was getting a bad rap. There was that Odell mess. And then you go to LA because McVay's like, we really need somebody today, right? So in semi-pro fashion, my guy puts on his backpack, shows up in LA, learns 5 plays of the offense, goes out and wins a game that night. I mean, Baker Mayfield might be one of the most underrated quarterbacks, based on what you're saying, that I've ever heard of right now. I don't think you can
I'll take
overhype the
that.
dude. Let's
I'll
go
take the
Baker.
underratedness. I'll take the underratedness and cool story. Let's just not put him on some pedestal yet. I don't want to do that to him
I
because
love
the
me
fall
some
off can
Baker.
be real. It's good one
Well,
week and terrible the next. So let's hope for our sake that we can continue to have a Chef Baker moment every week.
shake and bake, Baker. Shake and bake. I would say, listen, he's a little different than he was in Cleveland with all the commercials and all that kind of stuff. But he's really ingrained himself into that community. They love them there. They've got his back there. He's in a very good situation. And as you know, when you're comfortable doing anything, whatever your job is, when you're in a good situation, you thrive. And he is
Yeah.
thriving. And I
He walked
love
into a great
watching it.
situation, though. Let's be
He
real. He
did.
walked into a great
100%.
situation.
They had to rebuild.
A Tom Brady. There wasn't like, it was retooling. I don't think they were rebuilding. That was a Tom Brady
They
situation.
no, don't forget. Don't forget the defense. Tom Brady's last year, and the reason that the Cowboys beat them in the playoffs, their O line had been decimated, and their defense had really fallen off big time between losing players in free agency and injuries. Now they've rebuilt both, and they have a solid squad that's going to compete this year in the NFC.
I enjoy watching them play, and I agree with you on that statement 100%. They're definitely ready to compete in the NFC. But
Definitely,
chill on the
definitely.
Baker talk. Let's give Baker his credit as it's due. Let's not, over jump just yet.
Wow, I can't believe you put him in the same class as Dak. But we'll move on from
I
that.
said tier 2. There's 12 other quarterbacks in that tier 2 class.
Oh,
Okay,
geez,
12 other ones.
Louise. Listen,
12
folks,
other
we're going to be
guys.
back. We'll be back Sunday morning, 10:30 Central Time, right here. We'll have our picks for the morning, any more hot news, and Lo will give you his fantasy takes, and I will give you a sleeper or two. So be sure to tune in Sunday morning. We're giving you nuggets, and we're proved to be right as we watch throughout the day. I think I missed one game last weekend, which was that Steelers game. Boy, they let me down in a big way.
In the words
No.
of Aaron Rodgers, for Steelers fans, I do want to say I firmly believe that everyone should relax.
Relax.
I
It was
think you're
one
going to be
game.
all right. Yeah, just one game, and it's a tough one too. So it was a little bit more personal. I think they were like trying to get DK his touchdown, and you just kind of
They got him his touchdown early,
they
and then
did,
it
but at
kind
what
of fizzled out.
expense? Exactly. Yeah, at what
Yeah,
expense?
Seattle
So
might be better than we're giving them credit for. We don't know. But hey, we thank you, all the QB huddlers that are out there watching us. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to follow Low at Fourth and Low on TikTok. He looks just like his picture right here, his little avatar. And follow me at Tim Jitsu on TikTok for lots of more content coming out there. Until Sunday morning, keep those chains moving, folks.